Hey everyone, my name is Damien. I forgot to turn my TV off. Give me a second. I'm doing this live. It already fucking am. There we go. Ooh, there's light back there. Too bad I can't fix that. Anyways, everyone, my name is Damien, and today I am building a Halloween chocolate house. I saw this thing, and I had to have it. It looks like I actually need a pair of scissors. I am not prepared. Get a pair of scissors. I could learn to sit in a chair. I don't like that light. Maybe I could do it right here. Just move it over there. I'm still going to be doing this live, so y'all get to watch me move a bunch of shit around. Ooh, everything's all screwy. Let's tilt, tilt. Okay, chocolate house. Move a bunch of stuff out of my way. Alright. This is all the stuff that comes in it. We got chocolate pieces, the icings, bits, candy. And it tells me how to put the thing together. So let's open it up. This is a brand new box. Of course, never opened. All the fun stuff. And if you are, in fact, watching this, welcome to my channel. I do tags, vlogs, random bullshit, every once in a while a game. So, the chocolate pieces comes with little ghosts. Orange icing. Black icing, which is in a bigger container for some reason. And the icing for putting it together. Candies. I got bones that look like brick. Some ghouly looking candies. Candy corn. And some bats. Some of them are broken. There's a broken black one in here somewhere. A couple broken ones. I will improvise. Maybe I can get this to work just a hair better. But just do it this way. And then this way. And then do this. I don't know what I'm doing. I did test this. But, of course. Oh, no, don't turn off phone. I'm fucking everything up. I guess that works, but you can't really see the house. That's alright. We'll get that sorted. Then it comes with this thing to build the house on. And then the little bits. I am doing this live because I do not have the memory space I need in order to pull this off. So I'm going to try and build a house. I'll figure out how to build this house. I have not built a gingerbread house, nothing, in years. So I'm going to try and get this together nonchalant. Oh, maybe I don't need to cut the tip. Yeah, it told me I needed to cut the tip. I might actually need to look at the directions because I'm a loser. Or maybe it's the orange. And this is just white icing. Cat, get down from there. I don't care how much you like tobacco, get off of there. My cat has a thing for tobacco. I don't understand. Okay, this is the one I gotta. Got it. Get him. Put the icing on the bottom. Oh, that is hurting my hand. Let's see if I could just move this down so you can see what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just supposed to squeeze the piss out of this. All around the edge. Okay. And then I'm supposed to squeeze it onto the edge of the house pieces. But I could figure out how to even do that. And then, well, the pieces are the same looking, apparently. So they're interchangeable, at least. Okay, so I push this here. And then I put this here. Oh, I gotta squeeze. Oh. Oh, I'm failing. Okay. It's together. Try and get this to function just a hair for me. Okay. Now what does it want from me? Put the icing on the top. Eventually, I'll be more comfortable with my camera, more comfortable with doing all this shit. I hope you'll bear in mind with me, it will take me a while. I do plan on getting a microphone set up for my phone, because I do use my phone to do this. Okay. And then it's this, or do I have to break this? I think I have to break it. Pretty sure I didn't need to break it. I might have needed to break it. Cats are getting into stuff. No, don't fall over there. Come on. Function for me. Okay. Now how did they want me to put this chimney on? This icing does not want to function with me. This house doesn't want to function with me. I'll get it eventually. Stay up there. I'm just gonna put oozes amounts of frickin' frosting on it. Ah! I will make this work. Unfortunately, me making it work doesn't mean it's going to look nice. And the cats are out causing trouble. There. House. For now. Let's see, what can I do with this? These are headstones. They look like pills though. Little ghoulies. I see. Here's an air bubble in this thing. Put some lines on the roof. Cats! Shut the fuck up. Chill the fuck out this. Spaz. No, the dogs are going crazy. Really? Gotta let the dogs in. Go lay down. This is going to get very hand tiring. cats won't stop freaking out over something. Oh, there's a hole in the bottom. Fabulous. This is gonna take me forever. Wish I had better ices. Okay, we're just gonna stick candy on it. Do you know why they call it candy corn? Because when you put them in a circle, it repeatedly, it looks like corn. That's why it's called candy corn. That's a fun fact for y'all. Candied corn, if put in a circle, looks like corn. Damn nails keep getting in the way. Dropped one. looks lame so far. This might not seem like an improvement, but I think the last time I built one of these, I was in a really bad relationship. You can catch that idiot on my channel during the Walmart walk around. Fuck that guy. I had a nice setup for my channel. Made me sell everything. Made me go to work with pneumonia because he didn't want to do anything. This worthless ass could rot in hell. Okay. I kind of just want to eat this already. Instead of, building anything. I just want to stick icing on it and eat it. You want to go back outside? What? It's windy as fuck outside. You know what? know what I'm going to do instead? I'm going to do this. I suck at making these things. I shouldn't have even tried. But now I got cookies. I'm gonna move this thing around. I'm gonna stay alive. I'm not making this house. Because I'm a failure. And I admit it. Move my little tripod thingy over here. Let's see. There we go. I'm gonna go make a cigarette. That's what I'm gonna go do. Of course, I don't have my lighter on me. Just give me a minute. We're going outside. No, that'll move too much. How much bigger can I make this thing? Nope, ain't gonna work on that. What about on this? Alright. Shush! Yeah. I'll be right back. It's been windy for a good 2 days now. That's our tree. We abused the piss out of it. But it looks like it's doing our floor. lighting's better out here. Yeah, I'm silent. Oh, he actually went and posted it. If you guys haven't checked this guy out, I'm sorry if the camera shakes, it's the wind. If you haven't checked this guy out, his name is Nick Nimmin. I would definitely highly suggest checking him out. I got heartburn. But he just posted a video that we were talking about in one of his live streams. It's your video premiere worthy. Pretty good idea. I wonder if this phone screen shows up on camera. There's a little bit, but you can see my setup there. It's literally just attached to the table. It's a flimsy little thing, but I can't seem to put down now. It's Vikings by Polarium. It's a great game. It is now one of my all-time favorites. So I'm going to be live for a while, just shoving the camera in random places. I'm going to be silent. I'm going to be just videoing. Hopefully I don't hit with some copyright stuff, because I do listen to other YouTubers while I'm doing things, like Nick Nimmin or Oxhorn. Oxhorn's one of my favorites for the Fallout game, which is my favorite game ever. I love this game. Of course, sometimes it's got its laggy problems right now, but they've been working on it at least. It's been pretty cold today. My game has to restart again. Unfortunately, that's one of the problems going on with the game right now, is having to restart a lot. Took my cherry off, damn it. Well, my cigarette's out anyways. So let's go inside and you can watch me clean the house. It's very much the extent of what's going to be happening today. Let's take this thing off. Let's go inside. I've been recording for 40 minutes already. Well, been live for 40 minutes already. Oh. Dad's a huge Chargers fan. Woo. My face wasn't in it. But fingers. Chargers. I like this clock. Mounted TV. But this living room, Mom doesn't like these lamps for some reason. I like them. I think they're fucking cute as fuck. So I'm gonna remount y'all here. Maybe I'll finish this house. I might be hanging out with a friend later today. But I gotta clean the kitchen, get everything put away, taken care of. I gotta look for a banana bread recipe. That's not a phone. I remember I need vanilla. Playing my game. I don't even know if you guys can hear me over there. Hopefully they fix the game soon. One can only hope. Now I gotta try and get this living thing to come clean. You would think Lysol would work. Lysol did nothing to this thing. Puppies, you can stay outside a little bit longer. I ain't gonna kill you. Not playing the in and out game. clean, you bitch. Clean enough. Focus. This is for making cigarettes. That is clean. That is, I think, just hot water. Yeah, just water. Mmm.
This is Anthony. I can't get.
Mama won't answer. It's alright. I want to put what I have completed of this house over here. Oh, these little bones are falling off. I'm just gonna throw all this candy into a bowl. They're demanding they come inside. Stick the frosting in the fridge. Okay. Cookies. This is my bed. I don't do much. I love this hat. His hat is awesome. There it is. Banana. No, no. Banana. Y'all were just inside. Y'all can sit outside for a damned minute. I love this hat. Okay, I will let this be known. Of course, this is not anything illegal. It's tobacco. Tobacco. I don't feel like rolling a cigarette right now. So that's what this is for. This is my quick, I want some nicotine and be done. This is literally just for tobacco. And the music, that's from my game. It's a Vikings War of Clans. It's fucking killer. I know I'm not supposed to be smoking on camera, blah blah blah, YouTube policy. But I don't care right now. I've officially been live for an hour. That looks so weird. I may have to either trim that down or shave it off. I can barely do this one. How'd it go?
What you chose to come, couldn't let be, not in you to let go. Came for no other reason than you were curious, restless. Always have been. Had to know the why of it. Now I'll show you.
The why of it? You're the one who needs to answer that. Why are you doing this?
Want you to answer it. Not just history's answer. Your answer for what happened here.
If our fame with the Legion is high enough, we can pass a Legion check to say, are you angry that this explosion undermined the Legion's plans? It was an accident.
Accident. Ignorance is a choice. The chip, a choice. As for anger, it is what I carry for the dead and all that come here.
If we have high enough fame with the NCR, we can pass an NCR check to say, the dead? You mean the Republic troops who were here?
The soldiers of the bear. They were dead already. Their symbol, diseased, deserved to die as my
explosion kill your family? Your wife? Children?
My family, my tribe lives. Its history died long ago, fell under the shadow of the bull, consumed by another symbol. No, this isn't about family or any common blood. It's blood shared by acts, not by chance.
If you're Legion, are you angry because I destroyed the Divide supply line instead of you?
The supply line, the artery for the West. I have seen the blood of NCR and Legion hands many times.
From here on out, we can pass a series of Legion checks. Killing the NCR and cutting off their supply line at the Divide serves the Legion, as do we all.
Serves the Legion. I carry no hatred for duty. If that's what this was, the Divide was more than that. Its people more than that.
Seeing this place, it meant more to you than the Legion?
Yes, and it did to you once. I'm sure of it.
So, when you called me a traitor in Hopeville, that title really belongs to you.
No, it is a title you earned, Legion or not. You have betrayed more than you know.
Ulysses has the same response to all three of these choices, so we'll say, if you blame me for what happened here at the Divide, why do you care?
The community that was once here, and the package you brought, both had markings of the Divide, markings of America. You've seen the
If you guys want to go check this out, like the audio, that is Oxhorn. Like I said before, he does
the Divide, its buildings,
Fallout 4, and well, pretty much all of the Fallouts.
surrounded them here.
He does Let's Plays on all of those DLCs and everything.
I followed your road to the Divide those years ago. I saw the symbol I wore all around me. An old world symbol, strong to survive here. Its people strong. Outlast the bear, outlast the bull. Promise of something better. Kaiser was right to want it dead. NCR was right to want to rake their claws in it. Seeing it changed me. Just as
What did I do with
them changed Kaiser and NCR. Seeing it end changed me too.
Ulysses again has the same response to these choices, so we'll say, so you believed in this place, what it once was.
There was hope here. Another chance.
I'm going to work on my YouTube stuff.
A place.
It's this.
My flag.
And that's all my links, my daily things, whatnot. Today is just kind of meh out there.
This is the West. Something better. The Divide could have bridged both, like Hoover Dam. Now, like the dam, it's too covered in blood to see what it could have been. You gave life to this place. I followed your road here, saw the Divide. You led me here so that I could see. Then you brought it to an end.
Legion
Let's
does
turn
not
this
kill
sound
Legion,
off.
but you're not that anymore. I'm going to kill you.
If that's all that drives you, it won't last. Legion, it won't last either.
He has the same response to these options, so we'll say. So I delivered a package that detonated the nuclear missiles in the Divide, and that's why you want me dead.
My history isn't revenge or hate. The road that brought us both here isn't about that. It's about the message you carried. The one in that package, whether you knew it or not. The message that one can kill a nation, can kill a symbol, and all that gather beneath its flag. I don't blame you for the Divide. last word did not drive me far enough to see the end. You've seen it. No courier, whatever their flag, can ignore it. Why you didn't stay in the West. Why you wandered. There's no future in the bear or bull. The bear is diseased, barely clings to life. And the bull, when the Legion reaches the sea, it will turn on itself and die. Killing one will end both, and you made me see how one could do it. Your ignorance, carelessness, can be used with a purpose.
Then you learned the wrong message.
Really? Who's to say the truth of it? You? No. You walked from this, turned your back on it. Now you and others will answer for it. I'll start with the West. Let that run. Then, if the East falters,
Come on. Hey, Mama.
What? Yeah.
I tried to make the house.
Yeah.
I gave up. I gave up and started covering the tombstones and frosting and eating them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those things we learned a long time ago. It's kind of hard to do.
Yeah, and there was a hole in one of the frosting bags. So I was just like, you know what? Fuck this. Fuck it. I'm just going to eat it.
Hey, my favorite part. Just grease some frosting on it and take a bite.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I did. So what's left of the frosting is in the fridge. The candy are shoved in a small container in the pantry. And the house is built, but just sitting on the counter.
Uh-huh. Okey-dokey.
It's built. The door's decorated. 2 windows are decorated. And I made a
Okay,
ghost.
got it together.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's built. Like 2 or 3 things are decorated. And I'm just like, you know what? Fuck this.
Okey-dokey. Oh, I'm so ready to get off work. I'm tired.
And you get off at 4, right?
Well, as soon as I'm done with transport, the one that I'm supposed to have this afternoon, I don't. So,
Oh. Okay.
so whenever I get home.
Well, I might be hanging out with a friend later.
Okey-dokey.
This one, unlike Faith, I've talked to for like 2 weeks trying to get to know them.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what we're going to be doing. Jacob said they're all going to Sporties, so
What is Sporties?
it's one of the bars downtown.
Oh.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. Tammy usually changes his mind 50 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Well, it depends on what he wants to do.
Uh-huh. Yep. Hold on here.
And Sammy gets off at 1, right?
Yeah, he's off at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
So, about 10 minutes.
Okay. Because I might be leaving after 1. But I'm not sure yet.
Uh-huh.
Because his car battery keeps dying. But he did leave the lights on like 3 or 4 times.
Uh-huh.
So he's checking his car, make sure it'll turn on, make sure it'll turn over. And once he gets here, depending on whether or not the car battery is actually charging, whether or not it's the alternator, he might need to jump out.
Okay.
Like, we were going to do this earlier. Like, I'd deal with the dogs and whatnot. Because I was going to leave at like 11. And I was like, well, shit.
Can you
Mom's...
make sure and clean up the kitchen before you go kitchen?
Yeah, I've actually done the kitchen already.
Okay.
But I was like, shit, Mom's got the Honda, and then she's got the key to the Explorer, so I can't jump your car anyways.
Yeah.
So we're like, fuck it, we'll just wait for someone to show up at home.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't have the keys to the car to jump his car. That's an easy thing I can do. But I don't have the keys to the car. And you have the Honda. And my keys for the Honda.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get off the phone and finish my cigarette and get back on the floor.
Okay.
Alright, I love you.
Love you too, Mama.
But, have you let the girls out?
Yes, they've been in and out repeatedly. So I'm leaving them outside for a while they scream and bark at the window.
That's fine.
Because that was like 10 minutes ago, and that's too soon to let a puppy back in.
Yeah, okay. Alright, well, I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Alright, love you, bye.
Love you, bye. I love my mama. She's a trip. Oh, shit. Alright, let's turn Oxhorn back on.
I'll bring the divine there as well. Burn away the flags. Begin again.
You wanted me to come to the divide. I'm here. Now what?
The roads are not done. Haven't walked it full yet. Not nearly enough. The way ahead and below leads to the heart of the divide. And there, you and I, we'll have an ending to things.
I'm not done talking to you yet. There's more I want to know.
Already heard you once, long ago, and loud enough for history to hear. Tired of your messages. Still, curiosity drove you this far. Let's see what else it can do.
You said you made a promise not to kill me. Why?
Isar's orders. Sometime before I realized the why of it. Wasn't just you. All couriers. No telling how many were Legion. Maybe all of them. Wasn't sure about you until the divide. All the NCR burning. That much death. It bears the mark of a Legion hand. But you killed like NCR. Like Hamlin. With mines, bombs, missiles. Killed Legion along with the bear. Like a coward. Kills from a distance. If you were the Legion, and NCR beat you, the West changed you.
If we are Legion, we can pass a Legion check to say, I didn't side with the Legion until the Mojave. Otherwise, we can say, I was never a Legion agent. He responds the same way.
I know that now. Doesn't change what was done. Legion who died here. Even if you were a Legion, you would answer for those deaths like Isar's law.
We can pass a Legion check to say, I'll see that you answer for this.
Then Legion kills a Legion. Farther you walk from the flag of the bull, the more West creeps into you.
What's our history? How do you know me?
I knew all of you, your name, your road to and from the divide, what that meant for the Legion. We never spoke. Knew you through your actions. Knew you'd walked the West as I'd walked the East. Learned different lessons. And I would never have discovered the divide without you.
And with that, if we've asked him every single question from the beginning until now, we complete the challenge most likely to uncover covered all 6 references to the past of Courier 6. Your past. Let's talk about your recordings I found here in the Divide.
You scavenge words. Things I had no need of. No history there worth recounting. Scour the Divide. Claw at it for meaning. But my words will give you no answer.
We can pass a 75 speech check to say I've been collecting them. Listen to you talk about history enough, maybe I'll understand.
They won't help to understand what happened here. And they won't help you understand me. Keep them, listen, study them. They won't help you here in the Divide.
In the logs, you mentioned a tribe called the Twisted Hairs. Is that your tribe?
Twisted ears are dead. Lost the dry wells. Died in Wolpus's smile. Won't discuss their fate with you. Not now. Their past is mine to keep. Walk farther. See me face to face. You might earn more. Now let the words keep you without me adding to them.
If we've completed the Old World Blues DLC, we found an option to say that the logs of the Big Empty mentioned that you'd spoken to history.
I did. It was madness. Ask them a question in anger. Got an answer. More than I expected. Answer told me what happened here at the Divide. The how of it. And that was enough. The tape has the telling of it. Don't need me adding to the questions already there.
Before I go any farther, I deserve some answers.
You've seen the Divide. Walked it. Farther than I thought you would. Not sure how much farther you have in you. If you need answers, speak. You've earned them. Even if only you and I can carry them from here.
I want to know more about this package I delivered.
You know what it was. Had symbols of America on it. New markings from after the Great War. Thought it might be America come again. Promise of another future. Another flag.
But what was it?
It was a piece of machinery. Military. Holding memories. Codes, maybe. When it woke, made these sounds. Words. When it spoke, the Divide became fire. The ground tore apart like the skies. Through it all, kept calling out. Maybe calling for home.
What do you mean, when it spoke?
Machine couldn't speak by itself. Needed a terminal to access it. Like the terminals in the silos here. Or the machine with you. When it was connected, it started speaking. And the Divide answered.
Where is this package now?
Buried in the Divide. Part of it now. Wherever it is, it's been silent. If it spoke again, we'd know.
I've had enough of this. Whatever your game, you're done.
No, you are. Cut off your retreat. Your supply line. Ashton missile. Turn Hopeville into a furnace. You can walk back. Still can. But the Divide will mark you. Sickness will set in. Not immediate, maybe. But in time. Slow burn. A little faster than before. The way ahead and below leads to the heart of the Divide. And there, you and I, will have an ending to things.
This canyon is miles long, maybe longer. Where can I find you?
At the end of the Divide, through the trenches and wreckage, that's where you'll find me. A new home, here, amongst dead men. You and that machine. Keep your eyes on the tower that cuts the horizon. You'll find your way. Made it this far. Not much farther to go.
With that, we've learned the most horrifying revelation about our own past. Before we came to the Mojave, before we worked with the Mojave Express, Before Benny shot us in the head, we were a courier to the west. We supplied a settlement here in the Divide with the food and resources it needed to thrive. Its prosperity attracted the attention of the NCR, which tried to annex it. The arrival of the NCR attracted the attention of the Legion, who tried to conquer it. But the last package we ever delivered to the Divide came from NCR lands. It had old world markings on it. We didn't know what they were. We didn't know what they meant. Presumably the NCR didn't even know what it meant. But it was sent here, and we brought it here because the NCR thought that it belonged here. Recognized the symbols from the Divide and the ones on this package. Wondered what would have happened. But once the package arrived, it activated the nuclear missiles hidden deep below ground. And as we saw in my very first video, many of these missiles had been leaning to the side, pushed up against the sides of the very silos that were supposed to issue them into the sky. And so they detonated below ground, destroying the Divide, killing every man, woman, and child who lived here, and turning the NCR and Legion troops who were stationed here into the marked men we find today. If Ulysses is right, we did this, and he holds us responsible. He was devastated when we destroyed the Divide. He saw it as the one place where humanity had hope to rebuild. He called it a new nation stirring to life, a new place to set his flag, hope and the promise of something better. This loss hit him hard, and for God knows how long, he's been aching to get us back here, to find out why we delivered the package here. He says we should have known what was in the package, but we don't. If anyone is to blame for this, it's the NCR. They are the ones who asked us to deliver this package. At least that's what we can assume. It came from NCR lands. In fact, it was likely found in Nevarro, after the NCR defeated the Enclave there and took possession of it. Ulysses said that the package had old world markings on it, yes, but also markings from after the bombs. Likely Enclave markings. But we didn't send this package, we just carried it. Doesn't Ulysses know the maxim, don't shoot the messenger? We were just the messenger. But his grief, after losing the Divide, has altered his way of reasoning, and now we have to deal with him. Why do we walk away from this conversation with so many questions? It's clear that the package was some sort of detonator, but Ulysses said it spoke with a clear voice. How could it have spoken? And if not to kill us, because courier doesn't kill courier, what then does he want with us? And why does he keep talking to Eddie that way, referring to him as that machine? To find out, tune into tomorrow's episode, when we will fight our way down from Sunstone Tower and pass through the canyon towards Ulysses. I publish a new Fallout video 6 days a week on a wide range of topics spanning all of the games. This week I'm dedicating to Lonesome Road. I'll publish a new Lonesome Road video every day this week until we complete the entire series. So if you want to make sure that you don't miss an episode, be sure to subscribe and to click that bell notification button. I've got a brand new shirt in the shop, folks. Who are you that do not know your history? The very mantra that Ulysses chanted to the scientists in the Big Empty, and then chanted again to us. On the back we find Ulysses' symbol, the Old World flag. I also have versions of the shirt with just the quote, or just the Old World flag. I have a number of other designs in the shop on a wide array of other products. Find a link to my shop in the description below or by clicking here. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter to keep up to date with all Oxhorn news. And if you like what I do and you want to support me in a more personal way, consider becoming one of my patrons on Patreon. But more than anything, I'm just so glad you're here watching this video with me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early, with episode 5. yesterday's video, we wound our way through the Ashton missile silo to find the bottom floor of the sunken Sunstone Tower. After scaling the building to the roof, Ulysses again contacted us through Eddie, and it was then we learned the horrible truth about what happened at the Divide and our role in it. After Ulysses released Eddie, we saw flares shoot up from the ground below. It was the marked men, encamped in the ruins on the ground. We took the opportunity to snipe them all from this rooftop, so hopefully we've cleared most of them out, which should make our descent from the tower easier. I realize I could have detonated many of these nuclear warheads to kill some of the marked men, but I didn't want to risk blowing around any loot that might be down there. Instead, we'll detonate all of these after we fully explore the ruins. From here we can take in the landscape. We see that we are inside one of those deep ravines, those scars of the Divide that we saw from a distance upon first finding the canyon wreckage. When the explosions happened underground, the earth opened up and swallowed the skyscrapers and other ruins above ground. We now have to wind our way through this rubble to try and find Ulysses. We find Ulysses' mark on the canyon wall to the north. From here we can climb down some scaffolding. But what was that? Did you see it? It didn't look like any of the marked men. I've already killed them. Could that have been Ulysses? Is he stalking me? I waited for a while and he never came out the other side. He just disappeared. Nothing left to do but move forward. This leads to a hole in the Sunstone Tower. Inside we see a staircase going down, and off to the southeast, another rubble ramp leading to another building. Following this across, we see Ulysses' blue stamp. And moving into the ruined room, we find Ulysses' log Y1723 lying on a desk.
The White Legs meant to show respect, bribe me for Kaiser's favor, echoing mannerisms and words. Showed them tech caches, taught them the workings of chamber and powder, spoke of Kaiser's pride in those that used such things. Lies. And then they tried to honor me, not the Legion. They brought me before the campfire one night, showed me how they changed themselves, how they wore their hair now. It was like my entire dead tribe in the firelight, teeth grinning red in the dark, eager corpses, blood-covered ghosts. They had taken my braids, the way of the twisted hairs, as if it showed they were like me, of me, while every knot in their braids spoke of raping, violence, and ignorance of what the knots meant. They thought to show respect, defiled it, lost myself in trying to read the braids they wove. When I remembered, they had put no meaning in it. They had no history of what it meant. They didn't even know the insult in a twist, knots. And the dry wells came rushing back. The White Legs circled like that. It was like looking at the dead of my tribe, reborn as ghosts, hateful, hungry, bowing to Kaiser. Another history, gone, carried by me alone.
So that was the way they tried to repay him. He must have thick braids, belonging to a tribe called the Twisted Hairs. This explains why the White Legs we met in Zion Canyon all had braided hair. This event shook Ulysses, reminded him what Caesar and the Legion did to his tribe. By absorbing it, the Legion destroyed it. All those memories, all that history gone. Now Ulysses is the only one left who carries their tradition in his hair. But Dry Wells, what was the Dry Wells? Was that his home? The birthplace of his tribe? After looting an average locked wall safe and 2 ammunition canisters in the corner, we can step out onto another catwalk. Here we find MREs on the ground and a duffel bag. We see more ruined buildings off in the darkness, but we find no way to move forward. So instead, we can retrace our steps and go down the middle staircase in the floor of the adjacent room. At the bottom, we pass through a few more ruined rooms, but as we try to leave, Eddie plays back a memory.
Dad! Hey, Dad! Check out this robot I found!
Careful, Tommy. I've never seen a robot like that before. It might be dangerous.
He's not dangerous. Look, he's hurt. Can we take him home, Dad? can fix him.
I don't know, son. What if someone comes looking for it?
Please. He looks so lonely. Maybe if Mom fixes him, he can help her out around the garage.
All right, boy. But if he breaks anything, it's coming out of your allowance.
Yay! He'll be just like Ralphie. Only this one's not a toy.
Where did this happen? Illinois? So that's where you got that plate. Well, the other you, I mean. What's a Chicago? Sounds like that kid was pretty fond of you. Why did you leave? You gave that up to continue Whitley's mission? Was it worth it? You still haven't made it to Navarro yet. Come on, Andy. Let's go. In this ruin, we can loot a Nuka-Cola machine, and in a nearby desk, we find a locksmith's reader. In a locked filing cabinet, we find True Police Stories and Lad's Life. After looting a refrigerator and a few more containers, we can leave this building by the scaffolding to the southwest. On the way down, we can start to loot the marked men whom we killed while sniping from the rooftop. On the bottom floor, we find 2 more ammunition containers, and if we move to the rubble in the basement, we find a military shipping crate and a duffel bag. When done, we can finally exit Sunstone Tower. Moving west, we see a bunch of signs on the ground, one of which is Evert's. We remember that this sign was made by Zapp's Neon Signs in New Vegas. I guess Evert's must have had a franchise location. Be careful. Satchel charges line the ground, but I was paying attention and I didn't even see it. As soon as we set off that explosive, we get attacked by the marked men from the nearby rooftops. When the coast is clear, we can loot the camp. We find a variety of boxes and military shipping crates, and when done, we can move to the south. We see one of Ulysses' red warning symbols, and more satchel charges on the ground. Facing north, another flare goes into the sky. But instead of going that way on the ground, let's head up this nearby scaffolding and go to the northwest. This way we can peer over the canyon to see if we can find any enemies, but our path stops here and we don't get a good vantage point. Retracing our steps, we see another marked men camp on the sledge with more of their makeshift hovels. Moving towards the campfire, we find a few more metal boxes, a caravan crate, and more ammunition canisters. This ledge leads to a broken window in a nearby building. Creeping through, we can loot a desk with a La Fantoma inside, and hiding under some tipped-over bookshelves are 2 more military shipping crates. But that's it for this room. So heading down, we can drop down to the ground floor and explore the basement of this building through an opening to the south. Here we find a duffel bag in the back of it near to a skeleton, and next to another campfire are a few more containers and a sack hiding behind a bookshelf. Heading out and moving east towards one of the warheads we saw from the roof, we see a little gully where we find some mole rats. Inside the gully is a duffel bag with Private Foster's personal journal. Upon looting it, we complete step 1 of 10 of the challenge called Nostalgia. Find all journal entries in the Divide. This place is a hellhole. I heard it was bad from some of the guys coming back. Henriksen brought it up when one of those unexploded warheads went off, and Jenkins, those things got him. I don't know what they were exactly. Ghouls, maybe? But nasty. The lieutenant thinks they were drawn by the explosion that killed Henriksen. I think we're all gonna die here. Great, so the marked men are drawn by explosions? We'll have to be careful the next time we set off one of those miniature warheads. Crawling behind a wrecked building to the southeast, we find another duffel bag in the hands of a skeleton, but that's about it. So returning to the nuclear warhead to the south, we can keep our distance and use our laser detonator. Detonating this one reveals a tube. Inside the tube, we find another skeleton clutching another duffel bag, and inside the duffel bag, we find 100 caps. Moving back towards that first marked men camp, we can detonate the warhead. But this one doesn't reveal anything new. This leaves us with one path forward, to go down that canyon where we saw that flare. Here, we see another warhead. Detonating this one weakens a nearby skyscraper, and it crumbles into the canyon, blocking our way. Our quest log updates we now have to travel through the nearby caves to get around the collapsed building. Moving through the canyon, we come out the other side to find more marked men inhabiting the nearby ruins. When they're dead, we can look around. We see a big building to the south. Looks like there's a ramp that goes up there. But first, let's explore this building where the marked men shot at us. But it's booby-trapped. Golly, these satchel charges keep blowing off my limbs. Thankfully, I'm stocked up on doctor bags. Creeping through the ruin, we see most of these rooms destroyed and blocked off. We do find a staircase, though, that leads up to the next floor. Here we can loot the corpses of the marked men we killed just a moment ago. Turning west down a hallway, we find a few filing cabinets, and behind one, the next Ralphie poster. We're well on our way to completing the Feel Like a Kid Again challenge. In the doorway of a closet, we find some Steady next to a first aid kit and 2 more boxes. Turning around, we can go out to that ledge overlooking the canyon. Here we find a refrigerator to loot, and inside the oven, a wasteland omelet. Strange to find this here, as this is the signature dish crafted by Jas Wilkins' Aunt Rose. We met her in the mining town of Sloan. It's made with Deathclaw eggs. Going back in the building, we can then turn east, where we find a stash of ammo canisters and a duffel bag behind a ruined bed. Heading out and turning northwest, we see that this room is collapsed. It leads to a little earthen path lined with more satchel charges. I got out of the way just in time. Looks like the detonation destroyed the others. In a corner, we see a skeleton hiding behind a tire, and we can squeeze through a narrow alley back towards the open area. Rounding the corner of a ruined building, upon which we see one of Ulysses' white marks, we see a hole in this wrecked building, which leads to a narrow hallway. Gosh, I hope no one's claustrophobic. We can climb up a refrigerator and then down a couch to find a room completely open to the elements. Behind a mattress is a damaged shipping crate and Ulysses' log, Y17.17. And upon looting this one, if we've looted all the others, we complete the challenge, Ulysses' Odyssey. Discover all about Ulysses' past.
Have you ever wanted to speak to history? Just to know the why of it? I don't. Not any longer. There's old stories about gods and men, past history into myth. For the gods, they're like children, petulant, cruel. Those were the voices of the big empty, the past. Couldn't leave well enough alone. Had to ask the why of it. Their answers were madness and power stronger than me. Would take 100 Elishas, someone tougher than him or I, to best of them in their dome. They didn't know why they were there, what had led to that point. Their names, like serpents devouring themselves, cannibalizing their own thoughts. When all seemed lost, thought it was the end. My anger gave me strength to ask them my last question. Who are you that do not know your history? And they awoke. For a short time. The flag you wear, they said. We remember. America. It wasn't just a flag to them. It was a place, an idea they had cared for. Once, they told me what it was like to grow in that world. All they had done to lift it up, protect it. They didn't know it was gone. That, yet, they had cared once, before forgetting their history. As they were talking, kept seeing the career's shadow behind them, giving each their words weight. History cast aside, a home left behind. I listened, I asked, was there anything left? Anything that still carries America's voice? And they told me I had already
talking about the think tank, the scientists of the Big Empty, the men and women we met when we explored Big Mountain during Old World Blues. They were crazy. They were suffering from brain degradation due to their brains being in those jars for so many hundreds of years. But according to this holotape, for a brief moment, their senses returned when they saw the Old World flag worn by Ulysses. And Ulysses was moved when he heard how much they cared about America, how much the symbol of the flag meant to them, that place, the idea. But during that talk, all he could think about was the divide, the home he once cared for, the home we destroyed. They told him what lies in the heart of the divide, but what was it? More nukes? And the words to awaken it, and the one to speak them? Surely that doesn't mean us. Could this be why he's trying to lure us into the divide? Does he need us to awaken what lies in its heart? Heading out, we can climb the ruins of a nearby building, taking stairs to the top, and then crossing more scaffolding. We can walk across the side of this ruined structure, across more rubble, and then leap into a window. Here we find more furniture, cabinets, minor loot, and then we can scale the side of this ruined skyscraper to find a couple of duffel bags and loot the corpse of another marked man we killed. At the top we find a sign. It's ruined. World's something edge. Sports edge? Shopping edge? From the tip of this ruined sign, we can look northeast to see another warhead, blocking what appears to be a cave entrance. That must be the cave we need to enter to move around the skyscraper that fell into the canyon. There is also another warhead in the rubble directly beneath this sign. Seeing as how we've almost explored everything here, we'll go ahead and detonate this warhead. Upon doing so, we reveal a destroyed iBot. On the wreckage, we find an iBot upgrade circuit board. You've gained the Camaraderie perk rank 4, increasing your damage with beam weapons by 5. Eddie also gains plus 5 damage while he's your companion. Before detonating the warhead blocking the cave entrance, we'll explore the big ruined building in the side of the canyon. To get there, we head southeast. Behind the ruins of a wall, we find 3 ammo canisters and a first aid kit, and then we can scale this wall, which leads to a rocky ledge. We can go southwest or east. Let's try going east for now, walking across a bunch of ruined signs. We don't find anything, just a really good view. So turning around, we can scale some scaffolding, leading to a window of the ruined building. Here we discover the 3rd Street Municipal Building. Here we can maybe see some containers, and in the northwest, we find a terminal. If I'm getting close to it, if we have the Wild Wasteland perk, we activate it. But what was it? The title of this terminal is Office of the Treasurer. Inside, we see that the password was guest. That must be from the Wild Wasteland. Here we find 3 entries. The first is the Treasurer's report. Somebody from the political office should keep an eye on those guys down at the water treatment plant. That's the 3rd request for extra funds I've had to deny this month. Do they think we're made of money? I swear, it's like they want the communists to win. I don't know, if water treatment is asking for money, that's kind of important. Unless you want to drink irradiated water. In the next one, inter-office email. Attention all base personnel. Do not engage the protesters outside the construction zone. I know. The presence of those freedom-loving no-goodniks fills my brain with the white-hot rage of capitalist justice. But the political office has something planned for them, and you mooks better not screw it up, Commander Devlin. So there were protesters outside this base in pre-war America. I wonder what they were protesting. In the final note, memo from Commander Devlin. Attention all base personnel, we will soon play host to one of the greatest American patriots of our day, General Wellesley himself. For those of you whose family trees don't fork, I think that's an incest joke, the General is Chief Liaison Officer to the Big Mountain Research Facility. He and his team are paying us a visit to collect our guests and take them someplace where they can do some good for their country beyond stinking of patchouli and shooting the LSD. Commander Devlin. Well, wait a minute, you don't shoot LSD, do you? I always thought it was an under-the-tongue sort of thing. Was he talking about the hippie protesters? If so, does that mean that the scientists from the Big Empty rounded them up? Because if that's true, then we know what they did to them. They likely experimented on them, possibly put them in detainment camps. Behind a bookshelf, we find a duffel bag and 2 first aid kits. And then we can walk northwest out a window, across some scaffolding, to find a sewer grate to the municipal sewers. Inside, we walk down a long tunnel filled with muck and rock. And on the other side, we find tunnelers. Creeping through this tiny cave, we pass by a bunch of industrial hardware sticking out of the ceiling until at the very end, we find another destroyed iBot. On its wreckage, we find the iBot upgrade circuit board, and upon looting it, we gain the camaraderie perk rank 5, increasing our accuracy in VATS as long as Eddie is our companion. Eddie also gains an accuracy boost while he's our companion. This is the final one, and if we've collected all 5, we get the achievement Educated. We can continue up to the east and out the tube. This brings us to another ruined skyscraper overlooking the divide. And here, lying on the ground near an eastern window, we find the corpse of another member of the NCR Riot Control. On his body is the elite riot gear and helmet. This suit is an improvement over the advanced riot gear. The suit has a DT of 22 compared to the advanced riot gear's 21. It has higher HP, meaning it degrades more slowly, and has +5 to critical chance, +10 to guns, and +1 to charisma. This is one of only 4 pieces of equipment that grant a bonus to critical chance. And it also weighs less, weighing only 23 pounds, less than all of the other suits. This is another handsome suit of armor. It looks similar to the others, but with some minor differences. It also has the number 100 on the throat guard, and like the advanced suit, has green combat armor on the forearms and shoulders. But this one also has green combat armor on the kneecaps, and gone are the white stripes. Beneath the jacket, this suit has 2 belts of ammunition and a canteen hanging from the belt. The helmet has a whopping DT of 6, which is amazing for medium armor, and it gives us the effects of sneak sight, +5 to speech, and +2 to perception. This suit of armor is more valuable than any other suit in the game. The armor itself is worth 12,500 caps, and the helmet, when fully repaired, is worth 1,500. The helmet is handsome, but lacks many of the markings that the other 2 had. No white stripes, no badge on the front, but lots of wear and tear and scratches. Behind him, we find a Nuka-Cola machine and another skeleton crushed beneath it. In the back of this building, we find a number of containers. There's a desk labeled the physician's desk. Inside, we find a doctor's bag and 2 today's physicians. And underneath it, we find a copy of Lying Congressional Style. Interesting reading material for a physician. I wonder if Obsidian is trying to say something about doctors here. In the corner, we find a duffel bag, and on the nearby wall, we find the next Ralph. But this room is a dead end, so we need to retrace our steps back through the tunnel, back through the cave, out to the divide, and then climb down from the ruined building. This leaves only one path left, but to travel it, we need to destroy the warhead blocking the cave. On the other side, we find a ruined building, but as we try to walk through, Eddie stops to recall some memories. We recognize this from the 2010 E3 trailer to Fallout New Vegas. In that trailer, we see Ed E. traveling along the road, and we now realize that he's on his way to Navarro. But he gets shot twice. This is how he got damaged, until we repaired him when we found him in the Mojave Express at Prim. What was that? We can pass a guns check to say, that was a .308 round, probably hand-loaded. That would have destroyed most robots your size. We can then pass a 50 repair check to say, sounds like they blew out your primary stabilizing jets. I can't believe you kept going after that. That sounded bad. Raiders, huh? Amateurs. I'd have tracked you down and salvaged you for scrap. You're lucky you got away from them. They would have sold you for scrap in a heartbeat. No time to talk, Eddie. I don't like the look of this place. We should keep moving. Heading into the building, we see multiple ruined floors above us. The kitchen leads to a hallway, and we see Ulysses' red warning mark at the end of it. Crouching down and moving around the corner slowly, we see that this room opens out to a cave. As we loot ammunition canisters nearby, we discover the Cave of Abaddon. Abaddon is a Hebrew word used in the Bible to refer to a bottomless pit of the Hebrew angel of death. We see that the roof of this cave is made from collapsed buildings. We find a red toolbox sticking out from the floor above. And we even see a swimming pool in this hotel floor, which now acts as a roof to this cavern. Looks a lot like the pool inside the Top's courtyard. We see a Denny's Hotel sign to the west, and behind it, a duffel bag. And then creeping along between the wall and this sign, we find a ledge overlooking a large pit where we spy a tunneler. Can't see any more, so creeping down, we can go to the opposite ledge where we find a suitcase, and then hop on down. It's then that my helmet's night vision decided to kick in. Oh, that helps a lot. Creeping forward, we see more green mist pouring from tunnels to the west. But first turning right, we see Ulysses' blue mark on a concrete wall next to a small room. And sitting on a filing cabinet, what is that? A rock? Getting closer, we see that it's Seymour. And our Wild Wasteland perk triggers. This, of course, is a reference to Futurama, everyone's favorite episode, Jurassic Park, where Fry finds his long-lost pet dog petrified. It's Dolomite, baby! On the ground next to this is a skeleton clutching a suitcase, and in the suitcase is Sunflower Summer's diary. Dear Diary, I think we did it. We finally convinced the death merchants to hear our beautiful Mother Earth's cries. I just had a personal meeting with the base commander, who said they'd be taking a long, hard look at our demands and preparing something special for us. I can't wait to see what it is. I bet it's a full nuclear disarmament. Oh, ho, ho, poor Summers. Little did she know that think tank scientists had planned to pick them all up and cart them off to the Big Empty. But it looks like before they could, she and the other protesters died here in the nuclear apocalypse. Moving to the west, we find another duffel bag, and we can creep out of this little room by heading to the southwest. We don't see any more tunnelers, so moving forward, we can loot 2 more boxes until we see a concrete arch formed from rubble. Through the arch, we find more tunnelers. Heading through the arch, we can keep close to these ruined walls for cover, and it's just then that a tunneler comes around the corner. With their friend's death, more tunnelers emerge from their tunnels. Ah! It's a tunneler queen! Running back to the ruined skyscraper, we can grab a flashbang and hope that it works this time. And boy, did it work! It gave us all the time we needed to kill these tunnelers one by one. It pushed us all the way back out to the canyon. Heading back to the Cave of Abaddon, we can again go through that concrete arch to kill any remaining tunnelers. When done, we can now more confidently loot this room. Heading to the southeast, we find 2 first aid kits on the ground near to some rubble. And heading west, we find an auto dock, half buried in the ground, which we can use to heal on up. We see a big ruined building with light pouring out of it. Next to this is a collapsed bank. And creeping along its surface to the northeast, we find a duffel bag lying on some scrap metal. West of this, near to another sign, is a desk embedded in the dirt, and inside we find a copy of Boxing Times. Once we're sure that we've looted everything in this cave, we can continue on our way through a hole into the building to the west. Passing even more of Ulysses' graffiti, we can open a door to the west to the buried buildings. We find ourselves at the bottom of a staircase. We can loot a red toolbox and a box beneath the staircase before heading on up. Smile. I am all alone. We find a dead marked man pinned to the wall, and at the top of the stairs, we find a whole bunch of filing cabinets, and then a hole in the wall leading to a room to the southwest. But before we can enter it, Eddie has another memory for us.
Next week on Ralphie the Robot's Incredible Odyssey.
Ralphie, hurry! If Reno General Winters catches you, you'll never make it home. No! Ralphie, fly far, fly fast!
Tune in next Saturday for the exciting conclusion. Only on Vault-Tec Channel 9. Eddie? What are you doing in here all alone? And who left these old videos playing? Come on, let's get you into your recharge bay. We've got a big day tomorrow.
Is that what you're doing? Trying to find your way home? Suddenly a lot of things make more sense. Sometimes I feel the same way. Why do you think I became a courier? Don't worry, I won't let any mean old generals get to you. Yes, Eddie, I'm sure Ralphie the Robot would be very proud of you. I'll do whatever I can to help you get home, after we deal with things here. Come on, Eddie. We've got to fly far and fly fast if we want to get to the end of the divide. Passing into this room, we find another Ralphie poster on the wall next to a bed. After looting an ammunition canister behind a tipped-over table, we can open a door to the southwest to the divide.
Thought that explosion, that building falling deep in the divide, might have been your work. Wouldn't kill you. Maybe close. You'd survive. But no need to go any farther. You've brought me what I need. That machine with you, sealed in Hopeville silo. Need someone to unlock it. Bring it home. Now the signal's strong enough. No need for you to carry it anymore. I can call your machine to me.
What? Eddie?
You gave it a name. What was it to you? Companion, slave, weapon, all of that. Nothing compared to its primary function. It's a messenger, like us, and it shares our history. If you feel its loss, remember, you could have turned away at any time, gone back home, and none of this would have happened. But you had to make one last delivery, and that's why I knew you'd come, courier. Couldn't stay away. It's who you are.
You're not taking Eddie from me.
The machine you brought is mine now. It's coming home. I'll reduce it to parts, just enough to function, to be aware of what's happening.
What's so important about him?
What's inside that machine? That's all that mattered. All the machines here made the wreckage from the divide, and all that was brought here. Inside its frame, it carries the message you brought here, and it'll do what it was programmed to do. Whatever it friends here will listen to it. I'll bring the divide to your home, your nation. Let its flag burn, just like you let the divide burn. Big Mountain Access Code, Ulysses. Command override. Navarro.
With that, Ulysses seizes control of Eddie. We've lost him as a companion, and we lose his perk, and everything he was carrying is transferred to us. Ulysses didn't need us to say the right words. He needed Eddie. He needed us to retrieve Eddie from the Hopeville missile silo and bring him all the way here, because Eddie has launch codes. Ulysses told us that when the Eyebots in the Divide awoke, they began to repair themselves, and then repair other Eyebots from scrap that they found in the Divide. They likely repaired this Eyebot, the one that downloaded Eddie's memories, with the remains of the package that we carried to the Divide. The very same package that had the launch codes. We just carried another package with nuclear launch codes to the Divide, and we handed them over to Ulysses. Ulysses, the man who hates the bear and the bull. The man who will use these nukes to what? Nuke the Mojave? Vegas? The fort? It's history repeating all over again. But now we can try to do something about it. We've got to stop Ulysses before he destroys another civilization. But now we've got to finish traveling the Divide without our companion. We are officially all on our own. Ulysses doesn't seem too worried about whether or not we'll make it. He's got what he wanted. I doubt we'll hear from him again. In tomorrow's episode, we will crawl through the final portion of the Divide until we finally track down Ulysses. I publish a new Fallout video 6 days a week on a wide range of topics spanning all of the Fallout games, but this week I'm dedicating to the Lonesome Road DLC of Fallout New Vegas. If you want to make sure that you don't miss my next episode, be sure to subscribe and to click that bell notification button. I have a brand new shirt in the shop, folks. Who are you that do not know your history? That's right, it's Ulysses' favorite phrase. On the front we have the phrase, and on the back of the shirt we have the Old World flag. I also have two other versions, one with just the quote on the front, and one with just the Old World flag on the back. The shirt comes in a wide array of colors and in a variety of sizes. I sell many more designs and products, and if you're interested, you can find a link to my shop in the description below, or you can click here. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter to keep up to date with all Oxhorn news. And if you like what I do, and you want to support me in a more personal way, consider becoming one of my patrons on Patreon. But more than anything, I'm just so glad you're here watching this video with me today.
Well, I'm gonna
Thank
go
you
ahead and
so
end
much
this.
for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early, with episode
Bye,
6.
guys.